Got the double hander today, the easy bar. What we've got here then, we have a bodyweight leg workout today. Ideally, if you have access to a barbell or dumbbells, you do really want to be externally loading these movements because you'll get much more bang for your buck. Which if you don't have a squat rack, which is probably why you're after bodyweight exercise routine, then yeah, you don't have access to those moves. So how do we train legs effectively with no weights? Not too many variables you can change when we're doing a bodyweight workout if we're trying to build mass on the legs. However, we can simply adopt more single leg variations of movements, right? We can just put the weight on the one leg as opposed to having it spread across the two. Single leg glute raises, pistol squats, all that kind of stuff we're going to be looking at today, right? So the warm up, we have 6 to 8 reps on the toe touches and close stance squats. We then have 10 repetitions for the normal bodyweight squats to work through the range of motion. We have 3 reps each leg for the pistol squats. We have 12 repetitions for 3 sets for the plyometric squats, the jumping squats. Then we have 6 repetitions each leg for 3 sets on the assisted pistol squats. Single leg glute raises, we want to be doing 6 reps on each leg for 3 sets again. And then the last set of glute bridges with the feet together, both at a time, not the single leg, 2 legs at once, right? So 8 repetitions for 3 sets on the standard glute bridge raises. Or holds, whatever you can do. Try the hardest one though. Don't make it easy for yourself. The split squat gives us 8 repetitions on each leg again for 3 sets again. So now we've given a summary of all the sets and reps for the exercises that we've got in this session. Let's have a look at how we do them. Okay, so let's talk about the warm-up. We want to make sure the hamstrings on the back of the legs and the quads at the front are good to go, right? So the way I like to do it, we have the normal bend down and touch your toes, but we want to make it a dynamic movement. We don't really want to be doing too many static stretches. So we're just working through the range of motion that we're going to be doing, right? And also I like to do the bodyweight squats. Just a standard bodyweight squat. So you want to stand with our feet about shoulder width apart, about 30 degrees out either direction, right? Toes pointing out. Then we want to drop our hips as we move our knees forward. So it's a smooth motion, dropping the hips as the knees go forward. So this is just getting us ready for the movements that we'll be doing, okay? You can't do pistol squats, we want to use the assisted method instead. You can use a bar like this, put it on the floor, use it to guide yourself up. I have rings that I use that I just hold onto one of them, lower myself down, back up again. If you can't do normal pistol squats, just do the assisted variation and then move on to the second exercise. If you're having trouble keeping the dangling foot elevated, you can stand on an object, so you've got room to just let it dangle, and then as you get used to it, gradually bring the leg up, okay? Thinking, why is it a pistol squat? So the pistol squat name comes from having your hands out in front of you, like a pistol, okay? So it's really just for balance. You can find, some people like to tuck them to their chest, cross the arms, behind you, in front of you, whatever. If it keeps you balanced, it's good, alright? There's no right way to have your arms during a squat. We're doing a squat which is for your legs, not your arms, okay? So don't worry too much about that. If you're balanced, it's good. The second exercise, we have the plyometric squat. If you can't do a plyometric squat, just do a normal bodyweight one. You don't have to do the jump at the top, that's just an added bonus, okay? But keeping with our rule, if we can be explosive, especially with bodyweight training if we don't have the external loading from a barbell or a dumbbell, okay? And again, while keeping your back straight, knees go forward, hips drop down, okay? In smooth motion. So we want to have our feet flat on the floor. If you can't do that, put something underneath your heel to elevate it a bit, and you'll take the flexibility requirement out just slightly. Bottom of the motion, push through your heels, drive with your glutes and your quads straight up, okay? We want to get as much air as we can get. And again, talking about the arms here, I swing them behind me as I extend up. It keeps me in balance. That's all it's for, okay? Do what you want to do with your arms. You can tuck them in, anything. Okay, so then we have the third exercise, which again, we're doing more pistol squats. Like I said, if we want to overload the legs, we need to do more unilateral movements because we haven't got much weight coming from elsewhere, okay? So whatever weight we have, we want to focus it on one side at a time. We're trying to build mass on the legs. And anything fixed in front of you that will keep you balanced, hold on to it. You can see I've got the rings. They do just fine for me. You can use anything. So a lot of people swear by the bodyweight hamstring curls. However, unless you have a padded object which is just the right height for you to hook your heels under, it's going to be quite hard for you to do. So people say, oh, I've got a table, I can do it on that. Maybe, if you can, good, but if it's wood digging into your Achilles tendon, it's not very comfortable, is it? You can use the glute raise instead. Also, the single leg glute raise. As we've mentioned, unilateral movements will place more weight on the one side at a time, which means there's more potential for growth there, okay? So the glute raise works your glutes. It's in the name, okay? However, it also hits the hamstrings. If we go to an elevated platform with a single leg motion instead, we're putting a lot more strain on those hamstrings. So that's what we're trying to do here. This one's a struggle for me, so you'll definitely feel this one. You can see I'm using different height of objects on these, depending on how hard or difficult I want to make it. If one leg's too hard, put your legs together and just do 2 legs at a time, okay? Instead of doing the raising portion, you could just do it with an isometric hold and keep the tension on the hamstrings and glutes throughout the motion. Then we have the glute bridge raises. These are exactly the same as the last one, however we're not using an elevated platform. They're too easy for you, use an elevated platform. So the higher object you use, the more range of motion your hips have to travel through. Then we have the split squat. Not too many people actually do these. So it's in the name, right? The split squat. So we want to be taking as wide of a stance as we can. So front leg forward, back leg. For your ankle flexibility, I would advise you have it slightly turned to the side, okay? Because the main thing we're trying to focus on is putting tension on the front here. It's putting tension on the quad, on the leading leg, right? So the further forward that leg is, the lower down you're going to have to squat. And what we learned, more range of motion is better. If it's done in a safe way, of course. It's like a lunge, a single leg squat, normal squat, it's good. It's a bit of everything, right? It's a very good, let's call it a bang for your buck exercise. It's a good use of your time. Some exercises do more than others, right? So let's talk about training calves as well. Many people would recommend that, as they tend to be a neglected muscle, that you should train them at the beginning of your session. However, if I do them at the beginning of my session, I end up cramping throughout the whole thing, and it kind of ruins my output for future exercises like squats or deadlifts or anything really that I need my legs for. So I tend to not train them at the beginning, I tend to put them at the end. I mean, we follow the principles of muscle growth. How you grow a muscle is you fully stretch it and then you fully contract it. You don't need more than that. 25 to 30 reps will do you just fine. I used to do somewhere in excess of 50 or 60, but I can't say I noticed any more benefits from doing that number than doing 20 to 30. See how you feel though, but again, all we want to do is stretch the calf and contract it again. It's that simple. We've got a few different muscles in the calf. We have the gastrocnemius and the soleus, for example. People will say, oh, you can't hit either or with certain foot positions. Doesn't really make a difference unless we're going for Mr. Olympia levels of physique. You don't need to worry about that stuff. Just find a neutral position, drop your heels down, bring it back up again, fully stretching and contracting the calf muscle. That's all you got to do. Okay, and thank you very much for watching again. I hope you've been enjoying the content I've been putting out recently. I've been having a great time making it, and again, many more to come. If you want to check me out on Instagram, you can find me there at Primitive Rage. I've not been streaming on Twitch as much as I said I was going to, mainly because the mobile data in my garden doesn't work too great, right? So I have some Wi-Fi boosters coming, which I'll be then bouncing it out into the garden, and the live streams will be back in full effect. More workouts coming soon. Subscribe if you enjoyed it, all that good stuff. Turn notifications on, I don't know. I hate doing that at the beginning of the video. I never say to people, oh, please subscribe before you've even watched it. Why would I do that? I don't know what your content's like. Doesn't make sense. Anyway, see you later.